If you feel like it's too late for you to write your book, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to actually get your book done, especially if you're really busy. You're a busy parent, you're a busy grandparent, you have too much on your plate. So my name is Brian. I am a co-founder of Hope Writers and the CEO of Hope Books. And we help mainly women in midlife write their story and publish their book. And I got to tell you, I have heard every reason in the world of why not to write your book in this season of life. But I have to tell you, the number one best season to write your book is this season right now, the one that you're in right now. I'm also a Bible guy, and so I quote the Bible all the time. And Jesus said, don't worry about tomorrow, for every day has enough trouble of its own. Elsewhere in Scripture, it talks about making the most of every opportunity, that God's mercies are new every morning. And so the first strategy to help you actually get your book written, especially if you're busy, especially if you're in your midlife, is to understand that today is the day. Today is the day to start today, not to watch this and then decide to start tomorrow, but to actually start today, to take action today to start your book. The number one reason that people don't write their book is because they don't start their book. They think about writing their book, but they don't actually do any writing for the book. So start today. Okay, strategy number 2 is do not despise the small beginnings. In Zechariah 4:10 it says, do not despise the small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. In other words, the creator of the universe, your heavenly papa, is saying, go, daughter, go. I'm so proud of you because you started. He rejoices to see the work begin. So what is the work that you've been dreaming about for a long time but haven't begun? Begin. Start today and begin. Like literally say, okay, I'm going to write about when I first got married, and then take out your computer and start typing, or go on a walk, open up your voice memo app and start recording your stories. Like, do something that can add to your book. And do not despise the small beginnings. If you write a story that you think maybe could go in my book, but it's not as good as I thought it might be, that's okay. Do not despise the small beginnings, but rejoice to see the work begin. Rejoice because you just got started. And finally, number 3, and this is actually my number one strategy to help you actually write your book in midlife, is to think, I'm going to take the whole year to work on it, and I'm going to do a little bit of daily discipline every day, and I'm going to have weekly accountability. The combination of those 3, that's a system, an accountability system, the ability to count. So what's the number? It's 3, 6, and 65 days. So every single day, yes, I even write on the Sabbath because writing is resting for me. So I would invite you into that mindset as well. So you have 365 days to write your book. Give yourself a year and have some consequences. Say, if I don't hand my editor my manuscript before X day, 365 days from now, here is the consequence. Now, my favorite way to give yourself a consequence is not a positive consequence, but a negative consequence. So write a check to a political organization that you disagree with and make it out for a lot of money, not enough to break you, not enough to make you broke, but enough to motivate you, not enough to break you, but enough to motivate you, and hand it to them and say, listen, if I don't hand you my manuscript by this date, I want you to put this in the mail. Boom. Oh my goodness. If you knew that you're donating to this thing that you don't believe in, if you don't get your manuscript done, man, that is some pain. You could do another way too, right? Give them the keys to your car. There's so many things that you could do to keep yourself negatively motivated. Okay, so that's strategy number 1 for accountability, is a year. Give yourself a year, because within the course of a year, there are going to be high points and low points. There are going to be times where you say, you know what, somebody died, I'm sick, I got diagnosed with something, I had to move. There's a lot of things that happen in 12 months that if your goal was shorter, like 3 months or 6 months, then you can just say, you know what, it's just not going to happen this quarter. It's just not going to happen in these 6 months. But you give yourself a year. No matter really what happens, you can still bounce back. You can. Okay, number 2 is weekly accountability. This is what we do inside of Hope Books. So I think that after about 4 or 5 days, even if you had a great writing session, you start to lose momentum. The way that we schedule this is Wednesdays at noon. So noon Eastern on Wednesdays, that's hump day. That's the top of the hill, or whatever, the bottom of the week, however you want to look at it. But it's like in the middle. It's in the middle of the week, and this is where most writing dreams go to die. You get motivated on Sunday. You say, you know what, I'm gonna work on my book this week. And then Monday, maybe you get a little bit started. Tuesday, you work on a little bit, and then Wednesday, you're like, you know what, it's pretty busy. Life is pretty busy. I'm gonna take today off. And today off turns to tomorrow off, turns to the weekend off, turns to the week off, turns to the month off, turns to the year off, turns to life off. I'm gonna take my life off. I am not going to write my book. The solution to that is weekly accountability. And the way that we do that inside of Hope Books is we start with your gains, celebrating some progress that you've made over the course of the week. When you celebrate your progress, you continue to notice more progress, and we have it as a group accountability call every Wednesday. And so we invite all of our authors that are writing their book with us inside of our program to be on that call, because somebody else's gain can fuel you and encourage you to get working yourself, to get on it, because look at how much progress they're making. You can make it too. You just got to get started. You got to get started. And finally, number 3, how do you maintain that accountability? You do something for your book every single day. Every single day. Now, I know life is busy. I've got so much on my plate. I got so many people I'm thinking about, all that kind of stuff. 24 hours in a day, 48 half hours, 96 15 minutes. That's pretty good. 96 15 minutes. Is that the right math? That sounds like the right math. You have 96 times. 96 times. That's not even right. Yeah, 96 times is 15 minutes. There's 96 15 minutes. So out of 96, how many of those are you spending working on your book? How many of those out of 96? Out of 96 15-minute chunks. Okay, I got these little chunks, little cracks of time, 15-minute cracks, 15 minutes. I have 96 of them. How many am I going to put into sleeping? How many of them am I going to put into eating? How many of them am I going to put into watching TV? How many of them am I going to put into teaching my kids something? How many of them am I going to put into walking the dog? How many of them am I going to put into every single thing I need to do? You know what? You have 96 of them. So what if you gave one to your writing? Just one. You can do this. Give one to your writing. One. Okay. Now, if you gave yourself some daily accountability, the question is, how are you using that accountability? This is why I recommend they have some sort of system to follow, because if you have a system to follow, you'll make so much more progress with the 15 minutes that you invest in your book. So if you invest 15 minutes a day into your book, but you have no system at all, then what will happen is you'll spend the 15 minutes trying to figure out what system you're going to follow. Instead, what we do in Hope Books is we do have a step-by-step publishing program. So all you do is you log in and you know exactly what you're supposed to work on next. And every single thing that you do is less than 15 minutes. So if you just log in and do something for 15 minutes, whatever's the next thing on your plate, then you're going to make progress in your writing. Okay, that's the accountability piece. So thinking with that end in mind, thinking about 1 year. 1 year from now, I'm going to hand my manuscript to somebody that I trust. I'm going to celebrate weekly the progress that I'm making, and I'm going to take action daily. Daily discipline will lead to incredible results. Think about that. If you spend 15 minutes a day on your book over 365 days, how much further would your book be? So much further than it is now. Probably done. You know what? Probably not done in a year, probably done in 8 months, probably done in 4 months. But here's where the rubber meets the road. It's all about actually making the decision. You've got to decide to actually do it. You know, the difference between somebody who decides to do it and actually does it is taking action on that decision. My favorite way to take action on that decision is to cut off all other options for inaction. And so my strategy for that is to habit stack. Take something that you have to do and add something that you want to do. You say you want to write your book. Fantastic. What's one thing that you have to do on a daily basis? You say that you want to write your book. What's one thing that you have to do on a daily basis? One thing that you have to do on a daily basis, and stack it together. So for example, you could say, okay, every day I have to brush my teeth. So I'm going to habit stack adding to brushing teeth. When I brush my teeth, then I will spend 15 minutes working on my book. because the first 15 minutes, I'm gonna spend 15 minutes working on my book because I have to brush my teeth. If I have to brush my teeth, then I will go ahead and work on my book right after I brush my teeth, okay? What's the habit stack for you? I'm only gonna drink coffee when I'm working on my book. Okay, how many cups of coffee do you have? Every time I have a cup of coffee, I'm gonna open up my book notebook, or I'm gonna open up ClickUp, I'm gonna open up my project management system. What's one thing that you have to do so that you can add one thing that you want to do, or even that you eventually will love to do? One way that I've gotten so many books done is I just write books when I walk the dog. If I have to walk the dog anyway, the dog will not let me not walk him. And so if I'm walking the dog, then I'm working on my book. Do you get it? So what's one area in your life within 24 hours that guaranteed you have to do? You have to brush your teeth, you have to do your hair, you have to wake up, you have to go to bed. Okay, as soon as you wake up, first 15 minutes before you go to bed, I have to walk the dog. Okay, when I walk the dog, I have to drive to work. Okay, in the car on the way to work, I will work on my book. Pick a guaranteed time every single day, and you'll be able to exercise that daily discipline, which leads to the weekly accountability, which leads to the annual goal. That's how you actually get your book done no matter where you are, but especially if you're busy, especially if you're in your midlife. I hope that encourages you.